Hopefulness, day 25. Running out of meds. I have to go to Rite Aid and sometime this week. I'm thinking either today or tomorrow, depending on who knows what. I need to start some dishes first because I gotta clean up a little bit here. Yesterday, my burrito had too much meat in it, which is something I would rarely ever say, but it just had too much. So I'm gonna put a little bit of the beef in it today, and I'm gonna put one of the pieces of chicken that I still have left in the fridge. That way, I got that combo that I want. And they're both already pre-cooked, so I'm just going to toss them both in there at the same time. Then I don't have to worry about, extra cooking or anything of that nature. Here we go. Now we have some temp. Okay. There we go. The problem with regularly cooking is, well, regularly cleaning. It's also the reason why a lot of people will do meal prep. Because with meal prep, you do more at once, and you don't have to clean as much. The thing is like, I've started to realize why certain things are what they are. It's like, I was thinking about, I'm wearing this hoodie. I'm not going to be wearing it if I continue doing this, like, throughout the summer. Like, there's no point. Because it's going to be too hot, And especially if I'm cooking or something. I don't have air conditioning. The air conditioners that I have are those little, AC towers for the room. That's about it. I got a fan. That's it. I don't have air conditioning. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll probably have to start doing these videos in like a t-shirt at some point soon. And then I was thinking, okay, well, I have a bunch of stuff that's in storage that I haven't even worn this winter. Now, granted, I wasn't going about and doing stuff. But, it's like, I started thinking about why people do what they do with regards to, like, certain fashion choices when it comes to seasonal wear. Part of it was like, it kind of makes sense with sort of a minimalist style of living. You don't have that much stuff. You don't have to worry about it. And if you go and sell off whatever you've worn for a specific season, you're not holding on to it for the season in which you're not using it. And then, you go thrift shopping right before that season happens again, and you grab some stuff and so on and so forth. It's a lot of work, though, like, to have to do all of that. I mean, having a car would make it that much easier. Right now, I still don't have much prospects for work or anything. Oops, shit. Oof. I'm gonna get another car rental next month so that I can probably do it like right before St. Patrick's Day. And I'll do it like on a Monday and Tuesday for like 2 days, and then that'll be it. That way, I don't have to worry about the parking situation on Wednesday and Thursday, and just turn the car in and be done with it. And then so. Either that or, I don't know. Because, like, closed on Sunday. And if I wanted it for the full day on Monday, I'd have to get it on a Sunday, which I can't. I don't know. I need to soak this down. Because even, no matter, like, the thing about these rice cookers is that no matter how much you try, it seems like they just end up becoming sources for stuck rice. Now maybe it's just this brand, a specific version of this brand, I don't know. Water is a solvent, and so it generally, not full on, but generally it's good at dissolving most things. Trash. Take the trash out soon. It's like why on these on this cup? I mean, it's almost all clean now, effectively, because dump a bunch of water into it, let it sit overnight. Boom, done. Super easy to clean. Now if I had a dishwasher, it'd be even easier because you just shove it in there. But I'm the dishwasher. I am the one who cleans. That scene is apparently like a really good monologue and everything. But I hadn't really parsed it in my mind as to the nature of the scene until Ryan George in his pitch meeting for the show, Breaking Bad, if you didn't know. It's like this super badass scene. He's like, oh, he's just yelling at his wife. It's like, no. The whole thing is just fucking crazy. But yeah, it's an interesting take. I mean, great, yeah. Walter White is effectively, yelling at Skyler. He's trying to showcase how much of a badass he is, but at the same time he's doing it to his wife by yelling at her. And I mean, it's funny when you pay attention, like, yeah, she's kind of a bitch about some stuff in the first season. But, because he's hiding so much, it's reasonable that she's doing what she's doing. Now, when she fucks Ted, that's not, I wouldn't call that a good thing. I wouldn't call that an appropriate response to things. I'm done with this sponge. It's a little weird now. Another one, a couple more in here. And boom. Just don't have a lot of space now. I can fix that in a second though. I'll let that run. Pack of kitchen towels. Great investment. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move, oops, let's just be on. Turn off scale. There we go. We'll toss you 0.2. That. No way to cook any rice at the moment. Need to figure out a place to put these. Put them in here. I don't use them. I don't really like those specific towels that they provided. They don't dry that well. They're not very soft. They're very rough. There's this stupid fucking Quiznos commercial from back in the day that did not do well. Like, I guess the focus groups had tested well or something, but in the end, it was kind of like the death knell of Quiznos, where it's like these weird hamsters with fucked up teeth. This Quiznos subs! It's bad. It's real bad. So, that image was posted on a meme dump on Imgur earlier today. You know, I'll get up in the morning and I'll browse Imgur for a bit while I wake up. And that image, it was saying something along the lines like, Gen Z would never believe that this isn't just some kind of photoshopped image, but in fact is a real commercial. And some people were like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, it's real. It's real, it's disturbing, and unfortunately, it is a goddamn earwig. It sticks with you so easily. And it has done so, because, you know, I saw the damn commercial again. Like, that's the worst part about it. It's like, it worked in one sense, but it was so off-putting that it basically caused them to fail or something. Because I don't know if Quiznos still exists. I actually like to go to Quiznos. I like their subs. They were, in my opinion, better than Subway, especially because they had like, their subs were all like intended to be cooked. So they had like various types of cooked. Like this carbonara I like. I don't know if it was a legit carbonara. It doesn't matter to me. It tasted good. I liked it. That was the thing that I enjoyed about it, is because they had, it was kind of like having, you know, an actual hot meal, but in sandwich form, I guess. Just a touch. Yeah, I like these Anchor Hocking bowls. They're great. A little on the slippery side because, I mean, they haven't been really used that often at all. But at the same time, I mean, you know, they do the job well. Clean up easy. Nice and sturdy. They're pretty heavy for what they are. They're solid glass. I hope to never drop one because they are very nice. And that I hope if I do drop it, fingers crossed I don't, but if I do, then I hope it doesn't break. I haven't even washed them all. I mean, the rest of them probably don't need much for washing, but just don't have a whole lot of space for stuff at the moment. It'd be easier if I had a dishwasher, because then I could just wash a bunch of stuff, and then once it's dry, just put them up. And then wash some more. And I wouldn't be putting any effort into washing stuff. Other than, you know, just a couple of things in the beginning that I need to use at the moment. What have you. Alright, I have no more space for dry stuff. I mean, there's some stuff over here that I could probably move and put away somewhere, but I don't know where to put them yet, so. And I'm hungry. I want to make my burrito. I'm getting warm already. One reason why I don't like doing stuff. I don't like feeling warm. I like feeling comfortable. I don't like feeling warm. Warm is not a comfortable feeling for me in most cases. It is obviously when it's really cold outside. You want to, you want to warm up. But then there's a point where you don't want to feel that warmth anymore. You don't want to feel like you're getting hotter. You want to feel comfortable. You want to feel a specific sort of range of temperatures. At least I do anyway. I don't know about you. Anybody else for that matter, but anyway, meat time. Since those are the things that I can just kind of throw in. Got some chicken with plenty of schmaltz. I'm gonna break this up. Might as well just do it my way. Other side had a cutting board. This one doesn't. Kind of sucks. That chicken is good. Look at you out there. Throw a little bit of that fat so that I have something to cook in. A little bit of extra pieces there. Oops, whoops, shit. I don't know how much I've got when it comes to meat that I've got. Doesn't matter. I'm not gonna worry about it. Oops, shit. Should probably not throw it into the sink though. That's good. All right. Still gonna end up with more beef. That's okay, because then I'll have just the solid, beef taco or burrito at the end of this. So I have effectively what I think is, including this one, 3 more. Yes. So I have 3 burritos left. Let's see here. Let's just go ahead and get that started. Sounds like rattling. It's just the cooling tower, I guess. Let that heat up. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say my phone is charged. No, my phone is not charged. My phone is up there. Hopefully still running. It better be. Let's check. Yup. Only 2 minutes. Wow. Okay. It's rather surprising, to be honest. Felt like a lot longer. But no, my toothbrush is charged. Put this back in the bathroom. There's not really a lot of space in the bathroom, especially for this stuff. That I'm using in there. I mean, it's like, I can show you. There's not a lot of space at all. I mean, this is the bathroom. Like, obviously, there's the little rack thing next to the toilet, but I don't even use that. That's the thing for the stuff. So, and here's the sink. There's no counter space at all. So. Anywho, agua. I need to think of something else to bake. I'm thinking of just maybe making some kind of possibly pound cake, I think. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna figure out what to dump this into. I'll use this since it's clean. And I dump it into the tortilla itself, but you know, I gotta cook up the rice too. Speaking of which, or it's time to cook the rice. I need to dole out the rice. Put it in a little cup here. This is so much easier to scoop now because it's not stuck to everything. I don't have to feel like I'm taking crazy pills, what have you. Doesn't feel like I'm, you know, about to throw rice all over the place. Okay, that is prepped. Where's the damn lid? It's on the plate. Okay, that is just about cooked, so. I'm going to use this again, my marinara. Let's see. You're pretty much cooked, so just turn these off. Starting to get cooked on there. That's not good. It's basically turning into a fond at that point, but which is generally good, but this isn't what I want, so I'm going to scrape it off with probably that maybe the wooden spoon. There it is. Pour some water in here. Deglaze it a little bit, so that'll come off. Problem is this water's pretty cold, so I need to get a similar spoon slash whatever, but it's like flat on the bottom. So it'd be easier to scrape up good bits like this. Now I just gotta wait for that to cook down. Unfortunate, but it's whatever. And then once I throw in the rice and throw in a little oil, I'll turn on the I'll turn on the skillet and start heating up the tortilla. Because then, you know, bleh. I gotta start dumping more sour cream in this stuff because I had that giant ass tub that I thought was cottage cheese. So like I'm doubling up everything with sour cream, which I mean isn't necessarily bad, but at the same time, you know, it's like unfortunate. It wasn't bad, it's just not as good. I might use some coconut oil this time instead for frying up the rice. We'll see. I'm not one to usually need to deglaze anything, but I put in enough water so that it would just cover the bottom of the pan, pot, whatever you want to call it. And then now I gotta let it simmer down, boil away. That coconut oil. Saturated fat, 13 grams. Ingredients: coconut oil, generic brand, because why would you pay more for literally the same exact product? Now, of course, you know, like with the olive oil situation, it's a little different because it's possible that there are you know, it may be a blend, it may be fraudulent. There's some weird shit that's going on with like the olive oil trade, and apparently there's some kind of weird, I don't even know what the whole situation is. I don't want to call it fake because it's still olive oil. It's just that apparently like the places where it's being sourced from isn't necessarily the place in which it's labeled to be from, or something along those lines. So some elements of fraud that are involved. I'm just going to go ahead and dump this into here. As much as I don't want to just get rid of stuck on bits, this is going to be good enough on its own. So now it is time to do no. It's time to throw in this. And a little bit of this. Yeah, might as well stir it. I'll have to dirty up the spoon for that. Clean this damn stovetop off soon. I gotta clean the kitchen a little bit more than I did the other day because like still splotches on the floor. I gotta figure out how to mop the situation because I got a broom. That's about it. It's so strange how, like, as I try to transition into this idea that this is where I'm going to stay, like, there's so much uncertainty involved, and there's so much, like, it's weird. It's like, I know that this isn't technically affordable. I can afford it for at least a couple more months. If I really, really, really crack down on any kind of spending whatsoever. But like at the same time, it's like I'm having something of a crisis. So what's going on? In that the rice is almost done. There's a reason why in a previous video I said that I have effectively been homeless all of my life. Save for pretty much like one real moment, and that was when I was living on my own back in Texas. I'll just kind of let this sit while that cooks, because that rice is done now. It's starting to get stuck to the pan. I'm changing outfits real quick. Hold on. Ta-da! I'm wearing something different for a change. Phil's Don't Be Stupid t-shirt. It didn't fit because I've gained weight since I got it. And even then, it didn't really fit that well. Oh yeah, I need to get tones. Oops, shit. Come on. Look at that. Get to flopping. Get it. There we go. Yeah, don't be stupid. I like the neon thing. I think it was either on sale or something, because generally, like, I don't buy much stuff. I mean, kind of for good reason. I generally don't have any money. And that kind of goes back to what I was thinking about with the whole, like, kind of crisis thing. In that I am having effectively I'm having a problem right now processing all of what I'm dealing with. It's like I've been living by myself in the past. That's not a problem at all. I've dealt with that before. But since then, and even before then, I never really had a place to call home. Hence why I considered myself to be homeless all of my life. Like all of the decisions, all the housing situations have been, for all intents and purposes, in one way or another, decided by others. And yeah, when I became homeless, living out here in Los Angeles, that was my decision, but it was a decision based on other decisions that were not mine. Others said, did things that I didn't have a choice over. And so I had to make a choice. Now one could say, well, just go find a, place to live that's somewhere else that's not, being on the damn streets, and, that is a reasonable approach. To the way that I went. But it also felt like an opportunity. At the time, it I learned otherwise pretty quickly, but the decision was made. I don't know, it still feels like this might be too much meat. Shit. We'll see. So anyway, I'm going through this crisis in my head of, it's a fight or flight kind of situation, really. It's not the same as an actual fight or flight where there is literal danger right there, or even that really, 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 really strong sense of danger. But it kind of feels like there is, to a degree. Yeah, there's still too much in here. Hey, whatever. I don't care. It's gonna be delicious either way. Yeah, I mean, just look at this. Like, try to roll that up, and it ain't gonna. One of these days I'll figure this whole situation out with regards to filling and rolling a big ass burrito. Because I mean, this is a big tortilla. This is a giant tortilla, and I'm still overfilling it. I'm putting a whole ass cup of rice in it. I'm sure that's part of the problem. But the idea is, get it nice and filling. I have to need another one of these, but it's whatever. They're still good though. But the idea that I am trying to call this place home. I'm trying to call any place home. I haven't been trying to do that. Call it running away from something? I don't know. Because for one, I've been, running all my life in a lot of ways. Running away from parents or responsibilities or some other things, violence, abuse, etc. There's a reason I followed up parents with violence and abuse, because that's what they were. That's how I felt around them. That's how I saw them. And so I never felt home at home. Sure, there was elements to it, when nobody was there and I was on my own and I didn't have anything that I needed to do or any sense of responsibility. Whenever I was able to make enough of my own choices, my choices basically ended up being do what I feel like until I hear a car come up. Because I never felt like I had that opportunity as a kid. Sure, there were probably some opportunities every now and then. I play with friends and stuff, but when I didn't have my parents around me was the only time I felt like me. And I don't mean at school either. I meant away from authority of any kind. Whether it was going to see movies with friends, or if it was going to have lunch or dinner with friends, or going over to their houses and playing video games, or whatever it was. That was when I felt like I was free. Like I wasn't imprisoned and always on eggshells and figuring out what the next thing I'm going to do is wrong. And so there was no sense of home in that. And then when I lived on my own, none of my bills or anything were paid for by my parents, so they hadn't, my stepdad was already dead by then, but, so my mother, I lived in my place. She knew where I lived, but if she was paying for anything, she would have been at my place almost every day. Oh, sure, she wanted me to have my independence, but she also wanted control. mean, even years later, when I was homeless and I had come back for Thanksgiving, it was on her dime. First thing she fucking says to me is something about how I smell or something like that. I forgot to do the marinara sauce. And it's like, yeah, that's the first thing a homeless person wants to hear. Meeting their family. It's how bad they smell. Even though I had showered before, but you know, when you're on a bus for 36 plus hours, there's only so much you can do. And even when I got off the plane the next year, because apparently the plane was cheaper and more efficient, literally the same fucking thing. It was on her dime, and there's all these elements of control, so I just stopped. I was like, I'm done. But then even when I moved in to that one place in Pasadena, I never felt home. I didn't feel like it was a place for me to live in. I was living in a little living room. Everything about my life was exposed. To others. I had no sense of privacy, I had no sense of self. And while there wasn't really any any kind of like true authority other than the landlord, there was a sense of hierarchy and a sense of authority amongst some of the roommates. And since I was still dealing with all my shit from having been homeless and my depression and my ADHD and my lack of like sense of stability or whatever word I'm not even thinking of, you know, it was like, checking on this. See if it's still okay. Good. So forgive me my longest video. I'm not even sure what the word is because I'm not good with describing emotions. I've never really understood them. But when you're living in a place where you don't feel like you belong, you're not going to invest a whole lot in wanting to stay there. So I only invested in things that made sense that I could potentially get up and move kind of situation. Not well, mind you, but nevertheless. Because again, you know, I was still reeling from living homelessness and dealing with that being a possibility again. And you know, I don't know exactly the date, but it's almost exactly 10 years. Now that I think about it. Because at the end of January was when I got that text from my now landlady. I arrived on a Saturday. I want to say it was January 21st of 2012. while it wasn't exactly that many days, well, maybe it could have been something, or I don't know. I'd have to check. And I could put it at the bottom of this video or something, pin it, but almost exactly 10 years to my arrival in Los Angeles would be when she sent that text saying that we could do a $1,500 a month rental situation month to month. This is the first time since I've lived in LA that I'll be living on my own. That I won't be homeless. That I'll have some kind of semblance of a future. Now, sure, there were times where there was a certain, level of comfort. When I just got back from working in Alaska for the first summer, I had, like 10 grand in the bank and had a $300 a month rent, and I was like, all right, I can do all kinds of shit. I would go to the, certain restaurants just because I wanted to, because I could. I could hang out with people because I wanted to, because I had the money to. There was a certain level of freedom that was involved. And then I was also getting money from Pell Grants from school. But that's not the feeling that I'm talking about. Because I still didn't have that sense of home, of belonging somewhere. I was trying to find it. And when I was living on my own back in Texas, I didn't have the level of self-respect that I have now. There's certain choices that I'm willing to make now that some might consider folly, because I'm willing to stand up for what I feel is right for me. Big old mouth full. Some more water. It's not going to be as cold because it's going to be mixed in with the tap water. And then it's going to be even less cold because I'm going to put on more tap water. But it's filtered, so it doesn't matter. It still tastes good. Does the trick. It's always been, it's interesting now thinking about it. It's like, I've had that zero water filter for quite a while now. And in many ways, and it's not just the only item, but it's one of many, wherein once it's in my place of residence, that's where I'm expecting to live. And I think part of the reason why there's some anxiety is because obviously, I only have so much money, but I haven't had a place to stay. Now, this is the first place I've had, like I said, in Los Angeles that's on my own. And I'm still trying to figure it out. Because it's not really my place either. And it's like, it's less of my place. I mean, even if this place was completely empty, obviously, it still wouldn't be my place. But it would be more my place. Because, then I wouldn't have to deal with... It's like the bed it's a nice big ass bed, but at the same time it's a big ass fucking bed. It's like a queen, at least. But I barely even use half of it. I have to figure out how to make this place feel like mine. Which is going to be hard. Because I don't remember what that's like. I don't even know if I know what that's like. Because again, the last time that it happened was 10 years ago. Even then, I didn't really have any semblance of self or what I wanted to do, and I still have a lot of lacking of what I want to do with myself in life. I've been looking for customer service jobs that pay well because I know that I can do customer service, and I know that I don't need to be doing minimum wage shit. Not unless minimum wage is $25 an hour. Too many years of experience, too much world knowledge, too much of an understanding of things. No 40-year-old man should be hired at minimum wage. Period. Which is also why they don't like to hire 40-year-old people. But trying to figure out how to make this place mine, trying to make use of the space. I could bring everything that I have, other than maybe my bed. I could bring my desk. I could put it right over there where those are. I just have to move some shit around. I could figure out where to put my various Amazon racks. Would be too difficult to pull off, but not exactly easy either. But I'll probably put them over here. Now I think about it. Well, maybe. I also have a mini fridge. Put it down there. Like I could plug it in up here, but then it would. So I don't know, but it would be interesting to try to pull that one off. Or I don't think the cable's long enough to go around there, because I could put it like under this. Show you here. This is where all my trash and shit is. Obviously, I think that's trash. This is where the empty boxes are, but I could put it like down there. But in order to do that, I would want to try to plug it in there, and I don't know if that's enough room. but it's whatever. I don't know. But that's going to be... it's going to be part of the challenge. In the coming days is trying to make this place a home. And that's scary because I haven't tried to do that well, I mean, I have, but I haven't done so successfully. I'm nervous, I'm scared, I'm tired. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I should do. Obviously, take it day by day. Baby steps. Apply for more jobs. Hope to get one. Hope that job doesn't suck ass. Keep trying to figure out, every little step. Try to make it work slowly. Life is a marathon, it is not a sprint. Unfortunately, I was always a sprinter. Literally, when I was a kid. And it's just how my brain likes to work. Trying to slow down is hard for me. I mean, I even used to try to meditate back when I first got out of jail. I was at the behest of my therapist. I haven't done that in a long, long time. Guess I could try to do that again. It's just me right now. And for now, something that I didn't really think I could say, but at least for now it's true. And it's hard to say because I kind of don't believe it. But for now, I'm safe. And I think that's something that I haven't really felt. I don't even know if I've been able to say that logically because I was never aware of what it could be. Never felt safe at the last house. And while in a way I was very safe at the sober living, I never felt it. Obviously I wasn't safe in jail. I never felt safe at first place in Pasadena. Even though I probably was, I just never felt it. But there may have also been elements that I wasn't. I think I acted as if I was safe because maybe that's what I thought I needed to do. I don't know. Or maybe I thought I was when I wasn't. But with this landlady, she's made me feel safe. She has responded to me in a way that says she cares. And I hadn't thought of it that way. I'm gonna have to sit on that for a bit. Got a little emotional there. Yeah, that's new to me. Maybe there is hope for my future after all. Have fun.